All right, Rob. The Pro Bowl teams were announced yesterday for the NFL. And really interesting because, at the quarterback position, even though, we've often talked about no one guy has kind of run away with things statistically, a lot of guys playing on a similar level. And so in the AFC, the quarterbacks were the starter, of course, Lamar Jackson, most likely to win his second straight MVP, pretty much a certainty to win his second MVP, not straight, but second MVP of his career. And then it was Tua of the Miami Dolphins and Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. And a lot of people feel like Josh Allen got snubbed. Are you one of them?
Absolutely, Mr. Chris Broussard. Patrick Mahomes does not belong on the Pro Bowl this year. That doesn't mean his career doesn't matter, and oh my God, what disrespect, and oh my God, how could you say Patrick Mahomes not an All-Pro? He hasn't been an All-Pro all year. It's just funny how they just named the team. He was coming off 5 field goals in a row because he couldn't get in the end zone. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes have similar numbers except one thing. When it comes to touchdowns, it ain't even close. Josh Allen has like 12 or 15 more
NFL
touchdowns.
Record, tied with Jalen Hurts for quarterback.
15 touchdowns more than Patrick Mahomes. Dude, come on. This is not a Lifetime Achievement Award. We know how great Patrick Mahomes has been. Just not this year. Chris, ask me, does Patrick Mahomes belong in the Pro Bowl this year? Ask me.
I'm not playing along with your stuff.
Ask me.
What? Is Patrick Mahomes a Pro Bowler?
Not this year. Not this year. Come on.
Big setup.
It was a little different, yeah. And I get it. You never want to be like, oh, yeah, I was a mistake. Oh, Patrick, how could he not be? Dude. And it ain't even he's having a bad year for Patrick Mahomes. He's just not having a good year. And I think it's okay for us to, whatever it's, Chris, if it's the offensive line, which is leaky, we know that. We know the wide receivers haven't been great. We know they don't run the ball effectively enough. Like, there's a lot of things wrong. But to look at this year, and I'm talking about, especially when you talk about him and Josh Allen. And if anything, Josh Allen's season is on the uptick. Like, they started out like they were dead in the water, and now they've turned it on, and he's played well. And Patrick Mahomes, they lost like 5 out of 8. And they won the other Sunday with 5 field goals. They went like an hour and a half without getting a touchdown. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is Pro Bowl Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I'm sorry, not this year. And it's no disrespect that some years you don't make it. This was one of those years. He doesn't deserve to be in the Pro Bowl.
Look, you make a compelling case. If it had been Josh Allen instead of Patrick Mahomes, I don't think there would have been an uproar. I think it's been close. We talked about it on First Things First today. But at the end of the day, I had to say, number one, I don't think Josh Allen was snubbed because I think it really is close between the 3 guys that made it and Josh Allen. And if you want to throw C.J. Stroud in there as well, Rob, I do think this. I think the 3 quarterbacks, because a lot of people, like ESPN said, the guy that should have been off instead of Josh Allen was Tua. And they would have kept Mahomes on. At least that was the article, Bill Barnwell. I think that the 3 quarterbacks in the AFC, Rob, that do the most for their teams are Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen. And I think the 4th would be C.J. Stroud. When you, in terms of like putting the teams on their backs. And the thing is, so I think, I don't think it was a snub. I do think Mahomes, I'm fine with him being on it. Obviously, he's not having his greatest year, but I'm fine with him being on it. You said the numbers are the numbers passing wise are basically a wash between him and Josh Allen. Josh Allen does have 15 touchdowns rushing the football, which is big. Like I said, it's an NFL record for quarterbacks. It's tied with Jalen Hurts, so we'll see if they end up tied or if one of them sets the record for himself this upcoming week. But here's one of the things I landed on, Rob, in terms of why I'm fine with the three that they pick. Obviously, Lamar is not even in the conversation. Tua, I don't think he's as good as Allen or Mahomes. I think you would agree with me. But this year, he's leading the AFC in 5 passing categories.
Thank you. I mean,
right?
You can't leave him off.
It would be
if you're doing that, Chris, then what is the point on even having it?
We got to have some stats. Why we got stats?
Exactly.
So I'll give you that. He's leading the AFC, Rob, in completion percentage, touchdowns.
How could ESPN say that they should take him off based off of that?
I mean, going off here. Look, there's an argument there because his big games came against tomato cans. He didn't do a ton against the good teams. They're 1-4, obviously, against teams with winning records, and he's so there's an argument. I don't buy it. I say he's got to be on there. Passer rating is number 1 as well in the AFC. But when it comes to Mahomes and Allen, Rob, this is where I'm at on those two. And again, if it was Allen instead of him, I don't think I'd have made a stink. But to me, Rob, and I'm trying to be consistent, and I want your view on this when I'm done. The argument for Lamar Jackson to be MVP is this. The record, his team's 13-3, and they're the number 1 seed. So how have you placed yourself in position for the playoffs? They're the number 1 seed. And the eye test. Now, injuries too, he's had some players injured. But I think the bigger thing would be the eye test. Lamar Jackson's numbers are not great. He's going to be the first quarterback in a while to win the MVP without great numbers. Not even rushing the football are they great. And so, but when you watch him play, Rob, it's like dude's dominating the game. I don't care if he's only got 1 touchdown this game. He dominated the game. And when you watch Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, well, first of all, let me go to the record. The record's the same, right? 10-6. However, Kansas City won his division and is locked into the playoffs. Buffalo might not make the playoffs. You're one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and your defense is top 5, and you might not make the playoffs. I gotta look at that because I'm looking at it with Lamar. If Lamar's team was 10-6, he's not winning the MVP. Part of his argument is their record. And then the eye test, Rob, and I know Mahomes has not been great this year by his standards. But when you watch Patrick Mahomes play versus Josh Allen, it's just not close to me in terms of who you rather have. Patrick Mahomes may make a bad mistake here or there. Josh Allen does it regularly. As great as he is a ball of dynamite. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad. But a key thing to me for quarterbacks is you want consistency. I want to know what I've got, what you're going to do for the most part. Can I count on you? And with Josh, he is up and down like a freaking seesaw. And so eye test to me is clearly Patrick Mahomes. And then finally, and this isn't even one of my arguments, but it's just to address a point you made, Rob. Josh Allen is not on the rise. He's not on the upswing. His team has won the last 4 games and 5 of their last 6. But Josh's numbers are atrocious during that stretch. He's run for 6 touchdowns during those 4 games. But Rob, he's averaging 183 yards passing a game. He's got 3 passing touchdowns and 3 interceptions in that period.
Yeah, but
I credit him for just being like, man, look, let's win. I don't care what my numbers are, how many times I'm throwing it. Once they threw it 15 times against Dallas. But my point is he's not put the team on his back and carrying them in this stretch. It's actually like, do less. Do less, Josh. We got you doing less. We're running the ball better. Do less, and now we're winning. So all those things considered, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to poo-poo your argument because I think it is very close. But those are my reasons why I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I just when a team is winning and the same thing coming off of Patrick Mahomes in the last game where they had 5 field goals and they couldn't get in the. I mean, it just that to me summed up their season. That's what it's been like. Just frustration, missed opportunities.
Buffalo's season is frustration?
But I'm just saying
they might miss the playoffs.
When I look at it, and I know that but it just doesn't. It doesn't feel like he's played well to me. And I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. If I look at these two, and one guy has so many more touchdowns, I don't know how you could overlook that. That's just me. I don't believe if I had to pick, and Tua is not the one you're taking out. It would be Patrick this year, and I get it. I know a lot of it has to do with reputation, history.
No
you know what I mean, Chris? That
he is, the top player in the game.
And for him not to make the Pro Bowl would be a knock to that. It just would be. All right.